For the past couple weeks, all I've been able to think about is what tier list to do next, leading me to do some research on the ones that I have already done. This then led me to think what type of theme, idea could help me compete with all of the previous successors that I have done. Could anything even come close? Well, I have one idea. If I'm being honest, if this doesn't come close, then I don't know what will. Tonight's the night.
Tonight's the night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another tier list video, and what might be and what should be, probably will be, the best tier list video that I post on this channel. So far, I made some good Walking Dead ones. I know you guys like them, but for some reason, I got a good feeling about this shit. And if it wasn't already obvious, the next tier list, ladies and gentlemen, that we are doing today is a show that I have only just finished. I binged it throughout the whole of Christmas and New Year period. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dexter Character Tier List. Oh, I have been so pumped for this one. I planned it. I bought all this shit. This is going to be my favorite one to do. Honestly, this might be better than the Walking Dead ones. We'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, just before we get into the tiers, if you are new around here, make sure you smack the subscribe button on the face, turn on the notification bell, leave a like on the video, and drop a comment down below of what you think of the video. And as well as that, check out all the previous tier list videos, and then, because you're going to be subscribed, you're going to see all the other future ones, which could be more Dexter tier lists in the future to come. So again, stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to waste your time, because you've already seen a fat-ass intro. Let me take you through the tiers. To kick it off, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off with our top tier, which is obviously going to be called
Tonight's the night.
This is our top tier, and I think it is very obvious and very evident who will be shoved up in this tier, but obviously we'll get to it when we get to it. Under that, ladies and gentlemen, we have GOATs. That tier, ladies and gentlemen, is obviously where all the goated characters will go, because that top tier is obviously saved for the one and only. Now, under that, ladies and gentlemen, these aren't quite GOATs, but we got the level just below. And I decided to call that shit
surprise, motherfucker.
Cause you know how it would be, my man Dokes. Also, this will have spoilers. And then under that, ladies and gentlemen, we got mid as fuck. These are the mid characters. Pretty self-explanatory. And then under that, I've gone, these aren't quite the characters I dislike the most, but I've just decided to call it Dexter, please. What I mean by that is, Dexter, please kill these motherfuckers. Please end their life. That is sort of what I was going for. And then the final tier, ladies and gentlemen, is deserved the table. Not gonna lie, it will be deserved and deserves the table, because this is just bottom tier characters. So like, say I don't like them, or say I don't like them and they're still alive technically, like in the show, they will still go there. That's just what I've decided to name the tier. Don't take the tier names too seriously. And then under that we have can't remember, because I've only just finished watching the show on my first way round. Actually, that's a lie. I started the show back in like the summer, watched the first 4 episodes, stopped, and then picked it up just before Christmas, and then watched like season 1 episode 4 to the end throughout New Year. So like, there will be some even from the later series that I just don't click with. So don't shit your pants. So if I can't remember a character, that is where they will go. And I found the tier list with like 95 different characters. So this is the biggest character tier list that I could find. So there are definitely going to be characters on here that I just... And how I will be basing my ranking will be just an overall score of how much I like them, like how invested I was in that said character, the decisions they made. I will try and do an overall consensus, because there are characters in here that are phenomenal characters, but they piss me off a lot, but they're so vital and detrimental to the show, if that makes sense. So I can't put them so low, because character-wise, in terms of story, they are one of the top ones. Actually, coincidental enough, that is actually the case with our very first character. Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting off with Deb, my half-stepsister, foster sister, Deborah Morgan. Now, let's take this through the seasons. Now, season 1, Deborah was pissing me off the whole fucking time. And then when she started getting fucked up by the ice truck killer, that's whenever my sympathy for her felt really bad. I really worried about her. I cared for her in the show. And then after that, it was, fuck off, Deb. Okay, I like you now. Fuck off, Deb. I like you now. Can you stop pissing me off? Bitch, why'd you have a new dude every episode? He's fucking 50 years older than you. You clearly don't like him. He's gonna die. Like, motherfucker, stop hopping on meat every chance you get. I'm sorry, but like, it was ridiculous. Netflix would be like, oh, next episode's loading, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait. In the first fucking scene, she's on some new meat. Bruh, you was just on his meat, and now, right, Deb, so this is what I mean, and the decisions she was making, the way she was acting, Deb was like this, for me. It was really, I fucking hate you, I care about you, I hope nothing bad happens to you, shut the fuck up, all that sort of shit. So, I will say though, I did quite like the period of time where she was a lieutenant. I thought that was like a good season. Like, I know people weren't a big fan of the later ones. Kind of weird though that she fancied her brother. I don't know what it was with Deborah, but her mouth wouldn't stop sliding. She's like, I'm in love with you, and it was like, what the fuck? Either way, so let's just get on to the rank. Whenever, hear me out. When she was pissing me off to the max, genuinely in those moments, I was like, yeah, Dexter, you know what? Maybe you should have let Brian do it, or do it with Brian. But obviously, I would never do that to Deborah. She's one of the only people I have feelings for. Not in that way, though, because I am not an incest like her. It's really hard, because character-wise, story-wise, she is a goat. Like, she is so detrimental to the show. But with how much she gets on my nerves, dude, it was like, majority of the show, she is peaking as surprise, motherfucker. Like, that is where she is peaking. She deserved a better ending, dude. She really did. She did not deserve that. I really wish she didn't die. I also didn't, like, Dexter took her into the middle of the ocean and then dumped her. Like, wouldn't all of her friends wonder where the body went for, like, a funeral? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what was going through my brain. But either way, it's hard, dude. It's one of these two, because all she did was piss me the fuck off, but she is so crucial to the show and created so much, like, interesting things. You know what? We'll leave her in goats now. That's gonna be a thing. But I will say, her death was very sad. I personally think she should have lived. Now, moving on. Next up, not my shawty. My shawty. Fuck Arthur from the bottom of my balls. Fuck you, Arthur Mitchell. No. Is it Arthur Mitchell? Arthur Mitchell, Arthur Morgan. Arthur Morgan's Red Dead Redemption. It's Arthur Mitchell. I swear to God, it's Arthur Mitchell. Either way, fuck you. Genuinely, hold on. I'm just gonna start off by saying this. Rita, she's a goat. She's more... Here's the thing. Deb is more crucial, especially throughout the whole series, but I like Rita more. So fuck you, Deb. Rita's going there. Rita, in my opinion, was perfect. Like, she was my wife, and then, oh no, no, that's Rick. I'm sorry, I'm doing Rick. No, I have so many thoughts going through my brain right now. Right, Rita is definitely a GOAT. I liked Rita better than Deb. Now, Deb, you can argue, is a better character, but again, my likability comes into this shit. Rita goes above. Now, if you want to disagree, my balls are right here. Okay, Rita, now, I don't know if this is a crazy take. I do not know if this is a crazy take. In my opinion, from the way Season 4, Episode 12 made me feel, Rita's death was on par to Hank's from Breaking Bad and possibly Glenn's from The Walking Dead. That might be crazy, but you guys don't know. When I watched that episode, the way I sat at the end of my bed like this. I put my phone down. I didn't want to watch the first episode of Season 5. I wanted to give Dexter, like, the show, a week break. I sat at the end of my bed like this. My heart actually hurt. Like, genuinely, I was so pissed. I was hoping it was an illusion, or I was hoping it was some bullshit, or I was hoping she was somehow still alive. And here's the thing, I get it, like, I do think that needed to happen for the show to progress. Obviously, like, the season 5 was completely different. Like, I do think it was, like, the right call. Like, I don't know what else they could have done unless they went down an arc where, like, she was then gonna find out, or she was closing in on him. Like, I find it crazy that she went the whole show and she never ended up finding out who Dexter was. Like, that's just kind of crazy to me. Like, I thought there was gonna be a point where she finds out, but dude, I can't explain to you how fucking sad that shit was. Is it crazy to put her on Hank and Glenn level? Like, for me, like this is the saddest death of the show for me, easily. Like, the way my heart felt, she did not deserve that. And then, like, you gotta think about whenever you had to tell Aster and Cody, and you're like, oh my fucking god. It's just horrible. It's really horrible. Like, I'm sad thinking about it. I really didn't get over it. I spent the whole of season 5 bitter. Like, by season 6, I'd, like, let that be in the past, but the whole of season 5, I was bitter. Like, I didn't, like, whenever Dexter kissed Lumen, I was so mad! Sorry, whenever I kissed Lumen, yo, I wanted to swing on myself so fucking bad. Dude, I was so angry. I was so pissed. I don't know, dude. It was just one of those characters that deserved better. Let's move on. Let's move on. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on from my ex-wife, we have Harry Morgan. Now, obviously, Harry in this show was just flashbacks, and then it was really weird. Throughout the seasons, all of Harry's shit changed. It went from just like flashback, like memories, and then it went to him talking to him. And then it went from like the scenery and the color grading would change to whenever he would talk to Harry. And then my favorite thing with what they did, because I'm not gonna lie, all the flashbacks and all the other shit, it kind of like bored me. Even though they were relevant, it wasn't grasping me. What they did perfectly, what I thought with Harry, was in the later seasons. If any of you have played Batman Arkham Knight, they sort of did what Joker was in Batman's mind, where he's just appearing out of everywhere and just talking to him if he's actually there. Rather than the color grading change, rather than the memory, rather than this, it was literally there, like a ghost in his brain. Like that. That shit is perfect. I loved it in Arkham Knight, and I loved it whenever they were doing it with Harry in the later seasons. And going back to Deborah, I also watched New Blood. I fucking loved how they brought her back in New Blood and did the same thing that they did with Harry in the later seasons with her. Like all the times that she was yelling at him, "You're gonna fuck him up," and all that sort of shit. Magnifico, bruv. Magnifico. However, he wasn't like, he was good. He was good. I'm gonna put him in surprise, motherfucker, because he's not goated, because Blood isn't even alive. He's quite literally memories and imagination, but what he brought to the show, especially in my opinion, in the later seasons, and all the context he gave, and obviously with the code and stuff, you gotta put some respect on this man's name. So yeah, I think Harry Morgan, surprise, motherfucker. That is quite literally the perfect place for Harry. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we got We got someone that I hope lives forever, that never deserves the table. Possibly the greatest character in the whole show. Not gonna lie. Right, here was the plan when I made this tier list. Sort of like what I wanted to do with Rick. Tonight's the night, I'm gonna be real, that was made for one character and one character only. But I love this motherfucker so much, dude. I can't. He has to go up there, and it is not a question. Vince is the funniest, hands down. Not only the funniest in the show, but one of the funniest side characters in any show I think I've ever seen. The scene that I genuinely rewinded about 50 fucking times is whenever I think the guy that killed Dexter's mom. Dexter jumped him in his bar. Now, correct me if I'm getting this wrong. Then, the guy came back for him when Dexter was at the bowling alley, attacked Dexter, got a cut on him, and then got away. And then Masuka just shows up with this massive ass 44 fucking Magnum in his hands, like, yo, what's good? And Batista's like, get that shit out. Bro, I rewinded that scene and watched it 50 fucking times. Masuka is the definition of aura. And then there was one point where they're at a crime scene. I think it's the Lumen one, where they get caught, where they chain that guy up, like, at the warehousing things. Yeah, because she shoots him and then calls Dexter's like, I fucked up. And then Masuka's at, like, the crime scene, like, describing the sex acts, because I think they staged it as, like, a gay thing. And Masuka's like, I don't know if you can hear what he's saying, but he's, like, doing these, and he's, like, demonstrating, like, this, like, ritual, like, sex shit, and it's, dude, he's just the GOAT. Oh, yeah, when him and Lundy are in the elevator, he's like, so you checking, like, the police, like, history and shit, like, on Google and stuff? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, because I can explain the she-male stuff. Like, bro, Masuka, you are the greatest of all time. There's so many jokes that I'm just missing. Do you know what I mean? And if you have a favorite Masuka joke or the one that sticks in your brain, please comment that shit below, because I know there's so many I'm forgetting. But one that will definitely never leave my mind is when he just shows up with the big-ass Rick Grimes weapon. That shit is magnificent. There's one other one. Oh, I just like when Dexter socks him in the face when they pretend to kidnap him for a stag, and he socks Masuka in the face. But Masuka, he should have gone top of GOATs, but I'm not sure I can put him any lower than that, to be honest. He's just him. He is just him. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have La Guerta. Now, La Guerta kind of, when she was on to me, that shit pissed me off. Her death didn't actually make me that sad due to the context of like, yo, leave me alone, bitch. But I did like the way Dexter was played in her. Now, that's obviously later seasons. Let's hit rewind and go back to season 1. What happened to her having the hots for Dexter? Like, the first, like, season, I can't remember if she did it into season 2. But the first season, she proper perved on Dexter. Like, straight up perved on him. Was winking at him, like getting in his face, being like, you're so smart, and like shit like that. And then all of a sudden it just disappears, because then she was hopping on some meat as well, wasn't she? She was having an affair with that one other lieutenant that came in, I think, when she got demoted, Angel, and then I feel like there's someone else as well. But La Guerta, again, La Guerta was someone that pissed me off, because whenever it came to her and Deb, I was always on Deb's side. I was like, La Guerta, stop being a bitch. La Guerta really I'd say La Guerta probably pissed me off more than she did, like, but then sometimes she would explain herself and I would see it, but I also didn't fuck with her heavy, if that makes sense. I think surprise motherfucker, no, god, I'm sorry, surprise motherfucker. Now the question is, do we think La Guerta, because here's the thing, I'm comparing her to a memory and a ghost. I like Harry more, but she's a better character. But then he made the code, and just because bro's not alive and he's still having a major impact, I don't think I would want Harry to be removed. If I had to remove either of them from the show, I would remove her before I remove Harry Morgan. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie though, I did quite like when her and Batista were together, and then like literally the season ends and then episode 1 and they're not together, and like we didn't hear shit about it until it was mentioned. Do you know what I mean? Like we didn't see any falling out, and I quite like them together. I don't know why. They keep changing the couples. Like a season ends and then everyone has a new shawty, and I don't. Okay, next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have Aster. Now, Aster came in and out of the show so inconsistently. So she was from 1 to 4, and then came back in 5 for an episode or 2, and then came back in, like, she came back later. Seasons 1 to 4, like 1 to, when she was a young Ute, no, just a sweet kid. normal, right? So I probably put her back end at most. Surprise, motherfucker. You know, she was, I don't know, actually, because she didn't do nothing wrong. And then season 4 hits whenever she was becoming a teen, and like they were living in the house all together, and then she was like being a bit bitchy to Dexter, but then like it was just like, you know, just a normal like little girl stepdad thing. Then season 5 came and she was pissing me the fuck off, like whenever she was like acting all big man and shit. And I don't know, after that she was just kind of annoying me, and at the peak of her annoying me, I probably would have said, Dexter, please. What I liked though, what I found kind of wholesome is no matter what she was like, Dexter was still always kind to her, and bro was really chill. Like, he says Deb was like the only he clearly cared about Aster and Cody, dude. I'll put Aster mid. I don't think she can go any higher because, like, even though she's in the seasons like a lot, I don't think she was as crucial as the people that are going to be above her. She's quite a mid-level character. And that's all I have to say, to be honest. This show does a really good thing of like, oh, I like this character, no I don't. Yes I do, no I don't. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just people that fuck you off and then you like them and then they fuck you off. So, but I will say one of the things I did like was whenever that guy was like he was like taking pictures of her, and then Dexter found him and he was like strangling him because he was like on her laptop. She was on his computer, and like Dexter saw it and it just made him even more angry. He just strangled the fucking... Well, we know what his ass is. Moving on from Aster, ladies and gentlemen, we have, I can't remember her name, but I'm sure this was the filing woman that at, like, near the end of the series, Dexter was getting her, like, the key lime pies, and she was passing away, and, like, she was friends with Harry Morgan, and I don't know, she was an OG. You know what? Just for the way I felt about her, she didn't have that much impact on the show, I thought, but, like, she was nice as fuck. I thought she was Bing chilling. You know what I mean? Like, every time I go see her, she was nice as shit. She was helpful. I gave her key lime pies. I was with her in her last moment. Shawty's surprise, motherfucker. Like, this show is so many good characters, dude. Next up, we got Cody. He wasn't in the show that long. He was not in the show that long. You might even say, oh, but Cody has no value over LaGuerta or that other I don't give a shit. Cody right here is one of the bros. Cody is one of the most loyal, like, just heartwarming kid. Genuinely, like, the way he stuck up for Dexter, even whenever, like, Dexter was in the wrong, but, like, nobody else knew it, and, like, Dexter was lying, Cody was like, it's not his fault, it's not his fault. No matter what, bro had Dexter's back, and bro clearly was a ride and die for Dexter, which I think all of us just stood up and applauded, because that's a real one right there. That is exactly who you want as a son, as a stepson. Cody, I'm tempted to put that motherfucker up in goats. I am, and I felt so bad. And even through the tragic loss of his mom, he still wanted to stay with Dexter, always wanted to see Dexter, and also never really blamed him. Like, he is genuine, like, just deep it. He's honestly one of the bros. The only thing stopping me putting him in GOATs is just because I feel like Harry Morgan played like a more crucial part. However, if my mind changes midway through, just out of an impulse, I will move Blood up. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we literally have the surprise motherfucker himself. Again, one of the saddest deaths in the show, but again, a death that had to happen because he was on to Dexter. Like, there was no way out. After he found out, there was no going back. Either Dexter had to turn himself in, which then creates a 2-season show, or he has to go Blood. Or Dexter just keeps him hostage for 8 whole seasons, which we all know would not have happened. Dokes was one of the funniest characters of the show. Top 2 funny, maybe behind Masuka. It's a shame it was only 2 seasons, but maybe because it was that short and sweet time period of him, it makes us miss him and appreciate him even more. The way he would come in to Dexter, he's just throwing strays immediately. Zero chill. You know, he came out whenever there was that hotel room of blood. He's like, it's your wet dream in there, Morgan. And then I love the part where Dexter's like, to chase me down the rabbit hole. But he says it in his brain and he goes, what was that, Morgan? Like, he read his mind. Dokes? Not even close. Not even close is top of GOATs. Character-wise, humor-wise, likability-wise, like, don't get me wrong, every time it came to an altercation between him and Dexter, I liked it when Dexter stood up to him and, like, got him in, like, a jiu-jitsu bar, or, like, whenever Dexter over-smarted him, or, like, I always was on Dexter's side, but I still loved Dokes. I also loved whenever, like, they had that relationship whenever Dokes was being held hostage. Dokes got kidnapped by those, like, drug people, and then they helped each other, but then he put Dokes back in. The only thing I do wish that we saw, which we didn't, was whenever like Dexter would sit by the cage and him and Dokes were having conversations. I wish Dexter, like I wish we saw Dexter sort of pour out everything to Dokes, and then we could have got to see how Dokes would have reacted. Like I wanted Dexter to be like, yeah, the ice truck killer is my biological brother. Like we had the same mom. She's the one that I watched die. This was a code that I got from Harry. Like, and this is why. This is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm doing. Like, I wish he just laid it all out so we could see Dokes be like, fuck, like, I knew you were connected, but goddamn, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I wish we saw that. Yeah, I really do miss Dokes. I think that's one of the reasons why seasons 1 and 2, no matter how good all the other seasons are, like, that's, like, he's one of the reasons why those seasons are top tier. Do you know what I mean? Like, just having him there in that aspect. And seeing him, though, the way, like, Lila does his ass dirty, and he just blows out of the cabin, and then, like, you just see his body fling. Oh, bruh. Not my man, Dokes, dude. And obviously, he came up with one of the most iconic memes, like, from ages ago, the surprise motherfucker, which I did not know was him until I watched the show. And I feel like a lot of people have had that. They knew the meme, but they didn't know him. And then whenever they see the show, they're like, fuck, that's where it was. But no, I'm trying to think of another funny moment with Dokes. Oh yeah, where it was like, he's like, you give me the creeps. He's like, sorry. He just leans in, fuck you. Like, just his aggression was just perfect. He was just so mad all the time. It was so funny. And you know what? I think I just remembered my top 1 Dokes moment is when him and Deb were arguing. He's like, you were smoking on a crime scene. She's like, I was smoking away from it. And he's like, the whole area is a goddamn crime scene. You should know that by now. I don't care if you are from Vice. The hooker comes over. Maybe we should just calm down. Bro doesn't even look at her, acknowledge her, or treat her as another human being. He just goes without hesitation, who the fuck is that? Again, that was another one. I had to rewind that and watch that shit about 50 times. Bro spoke about her in front of her as if she was an inferior human, which, by the way, she was. Most of us are inferior to Dokes. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, we have, right, I can't remember this kid's name, but he's the one that lured out that one boy with the knife. He had an issue with stabbing people. Dexter let him live. I really can't remember with this kid. All I remember, right, is that he pissed me off. It was more of a Dexter please rather than like I hated this kid. Like I never really hated him. I just thought he was kind of scummy. And then I feel like there was like some arc or some lore where Dexter sympathized with him, or no, wasn't he getting abused? He was getting abused, I think. Fuck, I can't remember. But then I feel like he came back after a little bit for some reason. Or was that why he was... I can't remember. But either way, he can't go in mid because we didn't see him that much. He did piss me off a bit. Don't get me wrong. The abuse part, feel bad for bro. Not his fault. But like stabbing people, you know, that's not an excuse to stab motherfuckers. Do you know what I mean? He will go there. Next up, we have Tom. I believe his name was Tom. He was the old captain before La Guerta. He had some banging lines where he was like, the only thing you're gonna get from me, Maria, is the one-way ticket to Cuba. Genius line. Straight up just sent strays towards La Guerta. Not gonna lie, I thought he was funny. I liked him more as a person. Like, I liked it. To be fair, I actually liked him more than Maria. Like, again, towards the end of the show, Maria, and to be honest, Maria just pissed me off. There was a point where the only reason I liked Maria is because she was with the GOAT, Batista. Oh yeah, Maria just got on my nerves, dude. I can't lie. Like, even when she was perving on Dexter, I was like, bro, leave him the fuck alone. He's not interested in you. He has Rita. The fuck out of my face. Yeah, you know what? I'm putting Tom above La Guerta, to be honest. La Guerta might go into mid. I'm not lying. La Guerta might go into mid. The better characters we get in, surprise, motherfucker, La Guerta might drop. For some reason right now, I'm against La Guerta. He did snake out a couple people. He had that incident where he had to leave his job because of the one hooker with the drugs and all that sort of shady shit. I don't know. He didn't always have too much screen time, but yeah, I thought he was... But then, I just sort of liked how at the end he was always on Dexter's side. I think I'm being too generous with surprise, but then they're not mid. Right, that's where I'm leaving him. I prefer him over those two. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, this guy, I don't remember his name, but he's a therapist. And he was the one that would get women to, like, kill themselves. Yeah, absolutely. He deserved the table. And if he wasn't on the table, he still deserved it. He was on the table. But either way, that's what I mean. Deserved or deserves the table, just bottom tier fuckers. Disgusting freaks. He is one of them. But I will say, he was one of like the more fun side kills to watch. Like the way Dexter like had him on camera, snuck into his thing, got the files, disarmed the camera. Beauty. Beautiful. But yeah, he's going to deserve the table because he did. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, which by the way was weird to see, we got Star Killer. Star Killer is in Dexter and he claims to be the ice truck killer. And if you know what I mean by Star Killer, you is a real one. He was just a bit of a creep. Didn't he have a thing where, like, what's it called where they stuff animals? He was just a weirdo because he wanted the reputation of the eye struck killer. It was obvious it wasn't him. I love how they confirm it wasn't him to Dexter whenever Dexter's like really nervous and he like sits down because he's like, fuck, I'm about to like be face to face with this guy, and he goes, who the fuck are you? And Dexter's like he knows, like, oh, this is not the pussy. So yeah, he was cool. Like he was like a little cool fun bit, but like, Dexter, get rid of his ass, bro. Like, who gives a fuck about this weirdo? I love Starkiller. Starkiller's goated. This guy is not. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, this, okay, now do not flame me if I get this wrong. Is this Batista's first ex-wife? The mother, is this Batista's baby mama is what I'm saying. We only really saw her like the early seasons. She showed up when he got stabbed by the eye struck killer, and that was about it. Again, she'll be back in mid, you know, sort of gonna be like the Walking Dead tier list, I think, you know, the characters that didn't really do anything wrong but weren't that important, sort of mid and back in mid. Next up, oh God, forgive me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen, but is this the boy that was hiding in the trunk and saw Dexter, and LaGuerta had like a real connection with him, and he got really close to like getting Dexter's face drawn, because he was at the scene, like there was a couple that would like drain immigrants for their money and then kill them, and he was in like the car, like the junkyard boot. I think that was him. He didn't do nothing wrong. Poor kid, went through some bad shit, had like a nice connection with LaGuerta. There was a point where it looked like LaGuerta was gonna adopt a bro, and then I think an uncle came and took him. But yeah, I'm just gonna put mid as fuck because he had like a little cool, interesting part of the show, and I feel bad for bro. However, if I see another child like that, where I think, fuck, that's the other one instead, I might have to put him into Don't Remember. But again, let me know if I'm wrong. Alright, next up, ladies and gentlemen, I just had to check because I don't know if you guys agree. My initial thought was Eye Struck Killer. That's Brian or Rudy, but like that picture doesn't like, I don't think that picture looks crazy much like him. Like I've literally just had to scan every other character and be like, is that actually bro? Because I was just about to put it in Can't Remember because I didn't think that looked like him. However, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Ice Truck Killer himself, probably the best or on par best villain of the show. One of the most interesting. The twist when you find out that they're brothers is insane. The twist when you find out that it's him is insane. There's so many good twists with this series. It's why seasons 1 and 2 people love so much. Well, obviously season 1, that's whenever he was like, you know, a thing. But like some of his shit did carry over into season 2. And he came back in season, when Dexter took that road trip to Nebraska, but I can't remember the season. I did actually I saw people on TikTok say they didn't like that episode. I actually liked that episode where Harry got replaced with Brian and they sort of had like a little like fucked up journey joyride. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was fun to see him again. But yeah, that whole period, I need to rewatch the Eye Struck Killer seasons again. I think I will watch seasons 1 and 2 just alone again because that I really need those refreshed. Eye Struck Killer, he's got to go up here. He's got to go up here somewhere. He was again on par, one of the best villains of the show. The twists were insane. It's just every scene he was in, and then after you know he's the Ice Truck Killer, like, only thing, I didn't fuck with him trying to fuck with Batista though. Whenever he stabbed Batista, that's whenever my line was drawn, and I was like, yeah, I've had enough of him. So yeah, here's the thing. He's a cooler character than both of these two, by far. I think because he's a top tier villain, cool as fuck, so interesting, he's going there, but I like Dokes more. That's gonna be the case here. Again, I'm trying to think, my memories with the Eye Struck Killer is very vague, but it's just so cool. Like, whenever he, like, and then, like, a fight between him and Dexter, how Dexter kills him in his own, like, apartment in that freezer room. He was major fucked up at times. Like, just before Deb found out, he was, like, naked with this one, like, girl, and he was, like, drawing on her, I think, and then, like, that scene, I didn't really want to watch that. That shit kind of fucked me, like, creeped me the shit out. That's where I'm gonna leave him. Best or on par best villain. Twists were insane, and it was very fun to see him come back. Next up, gotta be honest, I remember the face, don't remember who she is. I'm not even gonna waste my time trying to remember, but if anyone remembers, let me know. Next up, this is the Eye Struck Killer, well, Rudy's victim, the guy that he just kept cutting limbs off of. He's the reason that they found, or there was a hint that they found out that he, like, sucks on these particular, like, they're not mints, but they like medicine tablets. I have no idea. He's a nice dude. Felt bad for him, but he's cracking jokes. Nice guy. Can't remember if he died. Did someone fuck him up? Or I can't remember if he died or if we just got a bunch of prosthetics and we just didn't see him again because obviously there's no more relevance. Next up, now this is the guy I was on about earlier. LaGuerta cheated. No, she was a homewrecker with this guy and the new what's it called? Not captain, lieutenant's wife. Didn't see much of him. He can, you know what? Just because he's unloyal, he's unfaithful, bro. He can go in Dexter, please. Also, he had a shit beard. Like that. Like he literally just had pubes on his chin. He jizzed on his chin and then rolled it around in the carpet and then just got fuck that shit. And then his hair, like, dude, there's a point like when your forehead is that big, a fro and a shit pubic beard will not save you. So yeah, just for, you know, just for that fucking nah, you can go down here, bro. You can go down there. Unfaithful and all that sort of shit. Next up, oh god, I don't recognize this dude's face at all. I'm sorry, I don't recognize his face at all. Is he one of my victims? I don't know. Was he on my table? I can't remember. Next up, again, I remember Shawty, but I recognize the face, but I don't know her. She's pissing me off the most because I feel like it's on the tip of my balls, but I just can't remember. Sorry, Shawty. Now this is the guy, I think this is the one I was on about. Dexter jumped him in the bar, and then he comes out with the fucking, like, Masuka comes out with this because of this guy. Yeah, he deserved what he got. He was also one of the people involved for Dexter's mom dying, and if that was me, I would also do the same thing. So, fuck him, he can go last. Next up is Lila. I didn't fuck with Lila at all. I didn't like Lila one bit, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna set the record straight here. Lila is not fine. Lila is not a baddie. I've seen TikToks where it's like, Dexter's top 5, like, baddest women, and she's breaking top 2 consistently, top 3. She's not top 20. Lila is not bad. I do not understand this shit. Like what are y'all seeing, bruh? No, absolutely fucking not. She was annoying. I didn't fuck with Lila at all. She deserved what she got. She deserved what she got. She played a part. No, she's not lower than these though. She played a part. I'm not putting her in surprise. She go mid as fuck because that's what she is. Lila, right, let me get this straight. She took Rita's keys. She left Aster and Cody, my stepchildren, in a burning building, right? She also blew up Dokes, which, don't get me wrong, it sort of did something for me because I'd have to turn myself in or murder an innocent. However, she still fucked up Dokes. Yo, Greetings from Miami is one of the hardest things of the show. It is hard as fuck. Whenever she turns it over and it's Dokes' face and Dexter just comes, magnificent. That is one of the greatest moments of the show. Yeah, she just pissed me off. I completely was on Deborah's side. And that is one of the moments where I was frowning upon Dexter. Like, how can you do that to Rita? How can you have Rita, Aster, and Cody, and then you just being unfaithful and you fucking up and you being with Lila? Like, and I know Lila was pretending to know who he is, but Lila was just a fucking psychopath. Like, you could see after a certain amount of time, like, oh, this bitch is crazy. Like, oh my god, she's really unstable. Like, severely unfucking stable. Like, she would, oh my god, I can't even remember some of the details, but I remember Noah was ahead of me in the show. And every time she did something, I'm like, what the f— and there was a few specific times where I would pause, swipe off, and Snapchat Noah, be like, this bitch is crazy. And it happens so much because this bitch is crazy. I did not rate Lila at all. I did not see the hype behind her. She just pissed me the fuck off. Fuck you, Lila. The only reason you're in mid is because you played a better part than some of these people, but Lila will not go any higher than that. And if you're one of these individuals that thinks Lila is bad as hell or a fine shite or whatever the fuck, go get eyes tested. Head to Specsavers. This is not sponsored. This is not a brand deal. Specsavers, you owe me money. Next up, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I believe I might be wrong, but I think this is the giant motherfucker that Dexter had to kill. I think, well, didn't he kill someone's son with a baseball bat? I can't remember if it was drug related or snitch related or something like that, but he would like take him out with a baseball bat, and he actually was on Dexter's table or my table, and then he got away because there wasn't enough wrap to hold his big ass, and then his goofy all blood got off the table, fought my ass, and then I had to get him back on the table. Now, what I will say was I was gonna save this till Dexter, but he is actually involved. I believe it's him. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he is involved with one of my favorite Dexter quotes of the show that I just find so cold, so tough, so sick. Hold on. I need a prop for this. Hold on. Not only was there not enough rap to hold him the first time, which by the way, let's just rank this motherfucker. He's clearly deserved the table. Clearly deserved the table. Probably here. I'd say the other two deserved it a little more. He gets off the table, but not only did Dexter not put enough rap, I think Dexter was going through something else as well, and like his hand was shaking, right? I don't know why. He's going through something. And one of my favorite parts is finally he's got him on the table. He sorted his shit out. He's no longer shaking, and he's holding the knife above the guy. And he's glazing himself. He's like, look at that. Steady as a surgeon. And I don't know why, but ooh, for some reason that line just hit. And for some reason, just the steady as a surgeon, that simile, for some reason just glazed my donut. And I'm sat there like, oh my God. And in the way he's like, glancing over his arms, like steady as a surgeon. Cold! If that's the same guy I'm on about, but I love that scene. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have the king of the white guy. Lundy, I fucked with you heavy. I liked your investigation skills. You're one of the most interesting characters. You with Deb made me severely uncomfortable, though. I will say I did not want to watch those scenes. There's a scene where him and her are cooking in the kitchen and he spanks her. I almost threw up out of every hole in my body. I'm not lying. I genuinely had to skip a bit forward. Him and Deb's relationship disgusted me. I don't know why that shit. I couldn't wait for it to be over. Like, I cannot express whenever they would smooch or kiss or he would spank her or she'd go on top of him. And I'm sat there trying not to, like, shit, cry, throw up, and cry at the same fucking time. I hated that shit. But I loved him as a character so much. And his death was really fucking sad, I thought. He's gotta go up. He's gotta go up, dude. He's a GOAT for sure. He's a GOAT for sure. I liked him more than Deb. Deb was more of a character. But I think he's better than Rita. I don't know. It's hard because Rita was a personal life GOAT and Lundy was a police episode GOAT. Do you know what I mean? I definitely liked him better than Deb. I think likability better than Deb. Him and Rita now, I can't do that to my wife. I can't. Dexter would never. Yeah, he died season 4, didn't he? Because it was Trinity's first daughter that killed him. But yeah, the relationship between him and Deb really. I'm gonna shove not 2 fingers down my throat, the whole fist. I'm gonna fist my own mouth. Yo, if I ever have to watch that fucking scene again where he spanks her in the kitchen, Dexter, put my ass on the table. Him spanking Deb is like Skylar White singing Happy Birthday for me. I can't get that shit out of my head. Anyway, next up, ladies and gentlemen. So, this guy that I roasted for, like, the hair and the fucking beard, this is his wife that was, mid. She wasn't as important as I think any of these, but she was nice, and I felt bad for her at times. To be honest, I was team her over LaGuerta, so she can go there. Next up, yeah, this guy, I hated him. I hated him so much. We'll put him here. Rita's abusive ex-husband, fuck him! He got what he deserved. And whenever, to be fair, no, that is one thing that Rita did piss me off. Like, don't get me wrong, I know, father of her kids, and ex-husband, but when she was doing too much, she was a little too fucking sad when he died in prison. A little too sad, I may say. A lot too fucking sad. Like, and I remember like seeing Dexter, like I was on Dexter's side. I was like, why are you fucking upset? Like, just let the government handle him. And then she's like, no, I'm gonna pay private money and have him a good funeral. I know I'm here, but you are a single mama with not that great of a job, 2 kids. You're putting the money towards some bullshit. I always loved, though, that he tried to intimidate Dexter, and, like, Dexter was just never fazed. And I just loved how I was, like, I'm sat there watching my phone, like, bro, you're trying to intimidate someone with over 100 kills. He will put you on his table like that. Like, you are no match for Dexter Morgan. You are not. What a pussy. I hated this motherfucker. And then, like, the whole, like, shoe conspiracy, and then, like, Rita was, like, on to Dexter. Yo, give it a rest. Let this man die. Fuck him, he's staying down there. This guy, right, again, you're gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong, but is he the one that had fake, it wasn't a fake job, but he had fake hair, he lied, this was the fucking liar. He's on Dexter's table, he's like, my wife, you don't have kids. My job, I'll do whatever you want. You're not the manager. No, but, and he just wouldn't stop lying to me. And I'm just set to, like, Dexter, stab his ass. Like, genuinely, watch the scene back. He fucking lies consecutively, like, 5-6 times in a row. And Dexter's like, no. And he just knows all the answers. That shit's so fucking funny. Yeah, Dexter, please. Absolutely. I can't remember what he did, though. What was his What was his crime? Oh, wasn't it like, oh, you target women, wouldn't he? He's just as bad as a therapist. But he would, yeah, no, he was worse because the therapist got them to kill themselves. Yeah, okay, yeah. Whereas I think he was more hands-on scumbag. This next guy is a clear example of Deborah hopping on just meat. And he was one of the ones, I didn't fuck with this relationship at all. To be honest, even though Lundy and Deborah made me more uncomfortable with like affectionate scenes, I rated Deborah and Lundy as a couple more than I did her and this fuck ass. I can't even remember his name. He got taken by the Skinner. Felt bad for him then. Don't get me wrong. He was a chill guy. He was an informant, wasn't he? Wasn't he Quinn's informant? Like, he was just like Quinn's like personal CI. He wasn't on any record because he punched Quinn. Yeah, I think that was the case. Either way, Deb, that whole relationship, I will say, was just shit. I hated that. During this period of the show was whenever, like, I wouldn't binge watch as many episodes because every time a scene of him and Deb would come on, I'd click off. Like, I'd use that as, like, okay, I'm taking a break now. I'd X off and go do some other shit. Like, I did not fuck with this relationship in the slightest. Couldn't wait for it to finish. When it did finish, I was happy as shit. Whether it finished by him dying or him just moving away or them just breaking up, any possibility would have been good for me. I just couldn't be bothered for it. I didn't care for him, to be honest. Like, he was a chill guy. He can go there. He can go there. He was just, again, I got nothing against him. I can't remember his name, but I just didn't. It just fucked me off. I didn't want him on the screen. Next up, we have, so this is a season 3 shawty. This is the woman the lawyer Miguel killed without Dexter knowing. He tried and he buried her under the grave, and Dexter, that's whenever Dexter was like, look, you're out of control. She was an innocent and all that sort of stuff. Whereas Miguel's mind, she wasn't innocent because she was freeing up criminals. I thought she was nice whenever like her and LaGuerta had that friendship. You know, I thought that was like a nice part. Like that was one of the parts where I liked LaGuerta and I felt bad for her. And I did feel bad for this lady, even though I sort of see both sides. But I gotta be honest, I didn't care. She's just more mid. To be honest, in terms of a character and who's on the screen enticing me, I preferred her scenes than I did his. Next up, we have... God, I feel like I recognize the face. No, you got... I can't. That, like, I don't even, like... I need a more zoomed out picture. No, fuck that. I can't remember. I honestly as well can't remember this guy. No. Sorry. Both of them too. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. This woman... Now, I believe this was the police officer Batista was seeing before the season he married LaGuerta. And, like, it was like he was having a good relationship with her. The season ends, and then it's over. Like, this is the shit I'm talking about. There's a relationship. I go into the next season, and everything's different. And I'm like, guys, wasn't you... Oh, so we're all incest slacks. We're all whores up in Miami Metro. Is that the case? Is that the case? We can't keep or hold down one woman or one dude. But I actually rated her and Batista's relationship. Like, this was one where I was like, well, that was fucking pointless. I thought that was a good matchup. Because she was gonna fuck with him, wasn't she? Because he met her through her being a pretend hooker. She wasn't as interesting as the lawyer, but she was nice. Next up, this is the Skinner. Good, but also forgettable villain. Again, it's sort of roped in with this guy, and I was just like, fuck me, like, can we move on? Yeah, just, I didn't have as much malice and hate for him, but he deserved the table. Yeah, I think he'll go more bottom because everyone above him was so much more interesting kills. Like, even though he was like a bigger villain, I just didn't care. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have me. We have Dexter Morgan himself. We have steady as a surgeon himself. Ladies and gentlemen, who this top tier was made for. I mean, Masuka's there now as well. But the best character of the show, me, who I'm dressed as, Dexter fucking Morgan. Hello, Sexter Morgan. Easily one of the best main characters of all time. In terms of all the TV shows I've watched, after watching this series, he has jumped up to like top 3, top 2. Honestly, he is so goated. To me, the best way I can describe the type of character Dexter is, it's sort of like a Rick Grimes. Even when the rest of the show around is having dull moments or you're not as much of a fan, how interesting and goated and amazing this character is keeps you there. Like, whenever he's not on screen and it's a shit part or a slow part, you're like, where's Dexter? Where's Dexter? When's Dexter coming back? I'm just getting through this for Dexter. It's one of those characters that I found, and it was such on par with the way I was feeling about Rick Grimes. So, Dexter's honestly one of the greatest TV show main characters of all time. He was good in New Blood. I'm excited for him in this Resurrection. He voices over what's the one with the young people? I can't remember. It's not New Gen, is it? New Blood? No, New Blood's Original Sin. Original Sin. He even voices over that, which is nice to just hear his voice. But yeah, Dexter is amazing. He's got so many cool like parts throughout the show. I love the part where he's like, open your eyes and look what you did. And the guy's like, you gotta understand. He's like, trust me, I definitely understand. Like, and then as I said, the Steady is a surgeon. And then when he's got Travis, he's like, what is he? He's like, I'm a son, a father, and a serial killer. Like, bruh. I love when Deb finds out, and I don't know, just everything about Dexter in the show. There is like, he is interesting and awesome just throughout. And the things he goes through. Not gonna lie though, for someone that's like emotionless, he becomes very inconsistent. Like the amount of times he's like influenced by outside factors, and he made a lot of those mistakes early seasons with like obviously Trinity. He like kept Miguel alive a bit longer than he should have, and like, do you know what I mean? He was trying to learn things from these types of people, so he was keeping them alive longer, which made everything more interesting, do not get me wrong. But you know, there were some inconsistencies, but he is just one of the most perfect main characters I've watched. Like, genuinely, I'd put him up there with Rick. I've heard a lot of people say not great things about the later series, and obviously we know what The Walking Dead's like, and just both of these guys just stay on top. No matter what's happening around them, no matter what's falling around behind them, these motherfuckers stay on top, and it's magnificent. That's really the word for it. It's just magnificent. And you know, Dexter's got some funny moments too. You know, I'm Switzerland, and they, like, you know, bro's got a bit of that tism going around. You know, I can't think of any on the dot, but yeah. Next up, oh, I recognize his face, but I don't. I'm sorry. This might be another. Can't remember. Ladies and gentlemen, Miguel is next. Now, Miguel is the whole thing throughout season 3. In my opinion, it's hard. Season 3 was really good. And I like the actor that plays Miguel. I thought he was good in this, and I really liked him in Sons of Anarchy as well. I thought hold on, that's sword fighting. They didn't sword fight. Him and Dexter, that back and forth and that friendship that they had at the start, I really liked. Like, I remember the first, like, half of, like, season 3, I was like, wow, I really like this character. I really like the dynamic is the word I'm looking for. And then when Miguel started to piss me off, that's whenever I was like, okay, come on now, right, let's kill him. And then it got prolonged for a bit, obviously until the end of the season. So it was like, I was so invested, really liked Miguel. Then he started annoying me, and then it went a bit slow for me, and then it picked up whenever they argue on the rooftop, and then, but that's the thing, it went like high, I was loving it, and then I dropped a bit, and then it just shot back up, because, yo, whenever they're arguing on the rooftop, and I love the way Dexter got him. It was one of the most satisfying ways Dexter has gotten anybody, and as well, we had to deal with his other brother, who was just aggressive the whole time. And poor Sil, man. I felt bad for Miguel's wife. Like, that was another thing that was pissing me off. Like, bro, like, you can do what you do with Dexter. Just stop being a dick to Sil. I really felt bad for Sil. Going back to the way Dexter got him, dude. How he, like, planted himself at La Guerta's, and then he's like, hey, I'm coming, like, La Guerta, meet me here. And then he, like, rushes to go out the front door. And Dexter just meets him at the front door like this. And it was just fucking perfect. And don't get me wrong, even though Miguel was pissing me off, his character arc throughout the whole thing was amazing. Like, I just wanted it to be over sooner because that's when he started annoying me. But from what he went through from the start to his loss of brother to then becoming, like, unhinged and not being able to control it and then taking it too far, like, he obviously killed the lawyer woman, and then he started to manipulate La Guerta, where he would try and go for La Guerta, and then Dexter had to save. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, his arc and his development was just, it's one of the best developments, I think, of the show. Like, even if you didn't fuck with season 3 that much, or like Miguel too much, the character development is one of the best we've seen in the show, I think. Isn't it funny how he went from risking it to save, like, La Guerta from Miguel to then what happens in the later seasons? Like, she had to go blood. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just mind-boggling to me. Also, going back to La Guerta and Deb, because I have to go back to this because they're already on the tier list. Why did Deb shoot La Guerta? Why not just let Dexter fucking do his plan, and then you don't have to deal with the guilt of being the one to shoot her ass? Do you know what I mean? Like, it made for a cool scene where she's like, put him down, put him down. Like, bro, just walk out. I know that's just as bad, sort of. I know it's close to being as bad, but just let Dexter do his fucking plan, because then she shoots Thingy, and it goes just off the rails next season. Why? Dexter has killed hundreds of bitches, bruv. Just let him do this one. And then you don't have that on you. Like, it's like she was asking to go off the rails. I don't know. That was one thing that just didn't concern me. Miguel, very interesting. I think we gotta put him up in GOATs just because of the character development, dude. He's not going in front of Deb. I don't think I can do that. He was a one-season good character arc. I'm not putting him above Deb, I'm gonna be honest. Even putting him above Harry's a bit for me, but I thought, you know, character arc, again, I like the actor, all that sort of shit. Bang. Next up, we got Quinn. Again, another one of those ones in the series where, like, I think Quinn started off, I liked him, and then I went towards a dislike with Quinn, I think, because whenever he was on Dexter's ass, and he was getting private investigators on Dexter, I was like, you know what, Quinn? Maybe you should go on the fucking table. But no. And then Quinn redeemed himself by being one of the goated characters of the show. Obviously, his most iconic line was obviously self-defense. Like, bro, I don't want to use this brain rot, but bro, Sigma in that moment. Do you know what I mean? Kill me. Why have I said that? Quinn, now, where would we rank bro? Again, he was also really funny. Like him... I like when him and Batista were partners and they were just fucking arguing. Whenever Deb was like trying to get him to do a DNA swab and she did like the blowjob motion, he's like, right now. And then she's like, no, fucking DNA sweep. I did feel bad for him. He literally like, with that whole like, what was the season with that Russian? Were they Russian? With the strip club or whatever the fuck it was? Like, he was like putting his ass out for that one girl and then like she just dips after he saves her. But either way, he's got to go up here. I like him more than Lundy for sure. I'm gonna put him above Rita. Yeah, even though he annoyed me. Like, don't get me wrong. Hey, Rita kissed some fuck ass in season 4, and then Dexter socked him one. He's a bitch. He's on here. I've seen his ass. He's coming up. Quinn's longevity of the show, how funny he was. It was obviously self-defense. He backed off from the whole Kyle Butler thing. He redeemed himself. Him and Deb were a good matchup, I thought. I didn't mind that relationship. Yeah, I thought he was funny. I like Quinn. This was the guy that was just overly aggressive. He fucked me off so much. But then I feel like, you guys gotta correct me if I'm wrong. He was a dick for like the whole first part. And then wasn't like near the end of the season he became more chill. Am I wrong in that? Did he become more chill? Like, I feel like he went from being an asshole and then something happened where he just chilled out. And no, you know what? No, I fucking disliked his ass. Dexter, please. I think I like Starkiller a bit more, but he was more like interesting. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, Starkiller's, his part was interesting, but it was just more like, yeah, we know it's not you, bro. Whereas, like, this guy, he was just fucking all over the place. So we'll leave him there. Next up is Syl, you know. I just feel... I feel bad for Syl. Like, Syl's getting a lot of sympathy points from me, to be honest. Lila was more... Lila and Asta are more important in the show, but you know what? Syl's gonna go there straight out of sympathy. She didn't deserve all that. She was just trying to be nice. She was a good wife. She didn't deserve all that. Do you know what I mean? And then she also came back later on when Dexter was selling the apartment. Next up, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is this the young boy that Deb did not get killed? Basically, he spoke to Deb about the Skinner, I think, and then he got skinnered. He didn't deserve it, but... there wasn't much of him. I'll put him with this kid. Yeah, I'll just put him together. Either way, like, this doesn't really make a difference. I could put him higher because I think this boy ended up getting a happy family, whereas this one died, so I'll put him up higher to give him some more sympathy points. Because, you know, the poor mom as well that had to deal with that loss. You didn't hear much of him. He just spoke to Deb. I think Deb bought him, like, a burger and fries and stuff. Yeah. Next up, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, God, no fucking clue. I don't even recognize the face, to be honest. I'm sorry. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have... Hello, Sexter Morgan. We have the Trinity Killer himself, the man that slit my wife's thigh, aka Dexter Morgan's wife's thigh. The Trinity Killer. Actually, technically, the Quadruple Killer, because it turns out there was actually another type of kill that he would be doing. Now, whenever I was talking about the Ice Truck Killer, this was the other villain I was talking about who is on par. Season 4 is just genuinely a masterpiece, I think. I remember finishing Season 4 being like, dude, I think I prefer that. I think that was my favorite season. And I'm so conflicted all the time. Do I prefer 1 and 2? Do I prefer 4? 1 and 2 obviously has Dokes, Ice Truck Killer, Lila pissed me off, but I just love, like, the whole focus on Trinity, and then Lundy's involved as well. I love the whole Kyle Butler thing. Like, that shit is just so interesting. And then whenever Dexter drags Trinity into the kitchen after he was strangling his son, and he gets the knife behind his back, and he's like, I should have fucking killed you when I had the chance. Oh my god. And then Trinity's hello Dexter Morgan, like that season is just peak. And the more I think about it, like, as good as seasons 1 and 2 are, season 4 was probably the best season in terms of, like, I'm like on my seat like this, like I'm like invested, and I just couldn't stop playing the episodes. But yeah, Trinity's goated. He's 100% goated. And then obviously whenever Dexter has him on his table, he's like, it's already finished or something like that. Because obviously he was probably referring to like him killing Rita. And Dexter obviously didn't know. So Dexter kills Trinity, has the boat moment where he's like, oh, I like to think Rita's looking at the same moon or something like that, connected by light. And it turns out she was in the tub. Do you know what I mean? Shawty was in the tub. Now, I did say he is on par with Brian, but where do I put Trinity? Is it crazy to put Trinity over Dexter's wife, Rita? The victim? Do you know what I mean? Like, is that crazy? But, like, he was such a good fucking character. He was only there for a season. That's the thing. Does longevity matter in terms of seasons? I mean, Miguel's up here. Lundy wasn't there all the time. Rita was 4 seasons. I don't think longevity should always count, because Dokes deserves to be at the top, I think, and he was only 2 seasons. But Trinity was, like, he was just one of the best villains of the show. I didn't like him more than Quinn, but character-wise, I don't know. No, I do not prefer him to Brian. Honestly, I think I prefer Quinn. I can't do it. I can't do it. He's got to go behind Rita. I'm sorry. He's got to go behind Rita. I'm leaving him behind Rita. Go villain, but I can't disrespect Shawty. She was, I don't know, Rita had a lot more seasons. She was, I like her more as a person. He was just so goated, though, and so interesting. That's the other thing, though. He was so interesting. Like, everything to do with him that whole season. And then with the, oh my god, yeah, he kidnapped that boy, didn't he? Who's actually on this tier list. No, he'll go next to Lundy. I like him more than Lundy, but I like Rita and Quinn have, like, I like them more, like, likability wise, if that makes sense. This is really hard to judge. That's what I'm going with, though. Now, this is his first daughter, the one that was seeing Quinn, the reporter, the batshit crazy one who just wanted his approval. She shot and killed Lundy and shot Deb. Fucked up. She just, and then every time Quinn gave her a chance, she just snaked him out for the report. Yeah, Dexter, please! I liked her more than these guys, though. This is the shitbag that kissed Rita, and then Dexter had to swing on him. Dexter, please! What a bitch. Actual bitch-ass pussy. Let's go here. No, he's not as bad as the fucking daughter. Fuck it. He's there. Now, this little boy, oh god, I don't know. I can't fucking remember. No, sorry, don't remember. Fucking kill me, bro. I think that's Harrison. I think it's Harrison. I don't know how I have no idea. I just have no idea how I missed Harrison. I don't know if it's because I didn't recognize the picture. Like, whenever I picture Harrison, I'm picturing the tiny baby from, like, season 4, but obviously that is a picture of him, like, late seasons when he goes off with Hannah and stuff. I just forgot. How did I forget? Either way, I mean, that's my son for real. So he's probably gonna go in GOATs just for being my son for real. Or in terms of show. I mean, he's probably a GOAT in terms of his importance in the show. He has a big role. Yeah, you know, we'll put him up in GOATs. Where in GOATs, though? Maybe just after Rita or before Rita. Actually, no, probably put him at top of GOATs just because he's my son for real. On God. Right, anyway. Back to the damn tier list, bro. Next up, we have Trinity's son. He actually makes a comeback in the Nebraska episode. Now, if I'm remembering this right, did mom kill daughter and then he killed mom? Is that how it went? Because then Dexter goes to kill him, and then he finds out, and then he lets him go. Because then we also got that sort of dialogue of, why did you never snitch on me? And he was like, oh, we as a family made a collective thing to, like, not snitch on Kyle Butler because, you know, you helped us. Which I thought was a nice, like, detail to add. And then Dexter goes all forensics on him. He's like, if you did slash from here, though, then the blood's, like, that shit was so tough. That was another thing I forgot to say about Dexter. One of, like over the, I'm not gonna lie, my favorite scenes of him, over the kills, over the stalking, over all the action, was whenever he's on scene and he's painting the picture of the crime scene. And he's just, do you know what I mean? When he's at the crime scene and he's like, he hits here, victim falls, splat, blood over here, the spatter, like whenever he's just describing the scene and what's happening in his head. Like, that's my favorite Dexter, I think. That is genuinely like the scene. I don't know what it is about that, but that's just, I love those scenes the most. I quite like the son. I like the son during the Trinity phase, and I thought it was a good episode whenever he found him again. Fuck it, the son was more interesting than LaGuerre. Fuck LaGuerre and Tom. He's not going above my boy Cody though, but I do think Trinity's son was genuinely that interesting. So fuck it, he can go there. Next up, the daughter. She made a move on Dexter, and he's like, bruh, absolutely not. Again, sympathy, gotta feel bad for her. Just put it mid, maybe. She had more impact than I'd say. She had more impact than all of them, I'd say. Did she? I'll go there. I think that's fair enough. Next up's the mom. No way. Yo, wait, hold on. No, not actually, but I'm putting her down here. I don't give a fuck. She pissed me off. I don't get it. He was abusing them all, and then Dexter has him, and they're all like, no, dad, husband. Fuck this bitch. I'm not even gonna go into her. She creeped me out. She weirded me out. She's a weirdo. Next up, this is the little boy that Trinity kidnapped and then Dexter saved. He was about to put him in concrete. W Dexter for saving this boy. Also, don't know if anyone ever noticed this. This is the kid from Ant Farm. Is he the artistic one from Ant Farm? He wasn't, you know, I'll put mid. He played a big part, though. He was actually interesting. I would rather watch his scenes than his and hers and hers. I think these two had more depth, but his scenes were more interesting than all these, in my opinion. Next up is... fuck. She weirded me out. She's the cop that killed her own family, and then Dexter found the, like, glove that she used with the gun residue on the glove in the garbage disposal. And then, like, she, like, threatens him she like pulls him over, threatens him in some like public bathroom. But that was another thing that I loved. Whenever she's like, you tried to R-word me, I'm not gonna say it, and he's like, yeah, but the blood spatter and the angle and the trajectory would just show that I'm in a defenseless position. Do you know what I mean? Like he outsmarted her with like forensics, and then she lets him go. And then he gets her, not on the table, but I think he killed her in like the daughter's room, and she's on the bed like, what are you gonna do? You gonna R and kill me? And he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you with that? No, nobody's doing that. Like, I'll kill you, but I'm not gonna... Like, it's like she wanted Dexter to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, does that sound out of, like, crazy? Like, she was genuinely talking as if, like, no, don't do it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, like, what the fuck was her problem? She deserved the table. She just frustrated me the whole time. She can go... Yeah, she can go there. Yeah, absolutely. Next up, we have... I don't recognize this dude. Does anyone recognize this guy? I feel like I should recognize... That is not Saxon. No, Saxon's down here. Where you can't see, it's cut off on the video. But... Saxon is down here. I was gonna say, that's not... Sorry, guys, I can't remember who that is. This is, what was his name? Not Boyle. Not fucking Boyle. Boyle's, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It was something along those lines, wasn't it? Boyd, I got that shit! Dude was weird. Absolutely deserved the table. And as well, we all know what he did to Lumen. Every person that whole season 5, all of these guys, should we just get them all together now? Genuinely disgusting people. Right, let's just get them all. Jordan, he was Lumen's actual boyfriend. I'm trying to recognize all the people that did that shit to Lumen. They're going straight to the bottom. Because that shit is disgusting. Like, you know whenever they found, I know it's a TV show, but you know when they found the CD tapes and Deborah and Quinn had to watch them? Like, even just like the fake remake of the CDs, I had to skip that. That shit's disgusting. Right, just these two I recognize. No, who is worse? Because I think Jordan's probably worse. Right, I don't recognize any others in terms of the Lumen situation. If I put any of the Lumen guys and can't remember, they're meant to be at the back. They're all together. However, I can't recognize any faces right now. However, next up we have... Oh, no, wait, that's a Lumen guy. That's a Lumen guy. That's the bodyguard. That is... I have no idea what her fucking part in this bitch was. Like, she was, like, loyal to Jordan. Like, wasn't she the very first victim, but she was, like... That made her feel special? Am I getting that right? And then Jordan killed her. She's not as bad as him because she was obviously just like messed up, but she can go with the frustration pile over here, dude. She can go there. Next up we have what was his name? He was the PI Quinn hired. Why is his name gone off the tip of my dick? I keep wanting to say Lundy, but it's not fucking Lundy. Who? You know, I mean, we all see his face. It's the CI that he was sent to investigate Dexter, and then he had Dexter in. He had his footage of him because he set up the private cameras, and then he had him zip tied in the car, and then Dexter kills him. I feel like this guy should have solidified that Quinn was right about Dexter, but you know what? Dexter also did Quinn a favor at that same crime scene, getting rid of his blood, so I think that's when Quinn decided to back off. This guy honestly just pissed me off. He's not a monster like all these, so I'll put him back here, but he fucked me off. Just wouldn't fuck. I genuinely hated him. He was pissing me off. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we actually have Lumen herself. Season 5 is a bit of a difficult one for me. I don't know if it was just because it was the back end of Rita. I did like Lumen in the end. I think she definitely needed and should have, and it was good that she left at the end of season 5. I don't think there was anything more for her. I think that was good. Like that, like because otherwise, like I think the Dexter storyline needed to change after that. It was pretty intense. So whenever Deb caught both of them in the basement and then walked away, I thought that was really interesting. I really liked her as a character. I wasn't a big fan of the romance between her and Dexter. I wish it was more like friends and he's just helping her. I wasn't a huge fan of the romancing. I thought it was a bit too much after Rita. As much as I like Lumen and the season, I like the concept of the season, I don't think season 5 is that high rated to me, and I don't think it has that much rewatchability. Like if I was gonna rank the seasons based off of rewatchability, I don't think Lumen's season would be one of the high ones. But I liked Lumen. I was gonna put Lumen at the top, but surprise, motherfucker. But feel like if I put Lumen down there, then I feel like Miguel has to go down there as well. But then again, right, Miguel's arc, right, that was shocking and the development was insane. Whereas Lumen's, I didn't find Lumen's as shocking. I found Lumen's as like, if that was to happen to anyone, she reacted in the way that I feel anybody would want to react. You know what I mean? I'm gonna leave Lumen at the top of surprise, motherfucker. It was one season. I didn't agree with some of the things. She was nice as fuck. She was genuinely a really good character. I got genuinely nothing against Lumen. I just, character-wise, season-wise, I don't think it compares to the way I feel about the characters above. And Miguel is just scraping goats, by the way. If it wasn't for that insane development arc, he would not be there. That's all I'm saying. Next up, I recognize the face, but can't pinpoint it. Next up, I reckon, oh, this is the girl that Aster came by in the Lumen season. They came back to the house and they were like, oh, is this your new girlfriend? She was the one that was being abused by the stepfather. And then Dexter, again, goes off forensics on him, beats the stepdad and is like, I just hit your something artery or this organ. You're going to be struggling to breathe now. And then he kicks him. He's like, that was what happens when you're like composed. Like, you know, he was like going scientific on his ass whilst beating his ass. He was hard as fuck. But this is the stepdaughter of the guy and Aster's friend. I thought during that bit when Aster was being a bit of a bitch, she was being quite nice. And obviously, it's not nice to be having a stepdad like that. So you know what? She can go up with Aster. She can go just behind. You know what? No, I feel bad more for Syl. Yeah, she can go there. Next up, this is Lumen's ex-boyfriend that she left to then move to Miami. We only saw him for like a little bit. He didn't piss me off, but he genuinely just meant like nothing to me. He was just like a whatever you call it. He was there for like an episode and a bit, and he just wanted her to run away with him. Oh god, why do I recognize her face? Fuck, shit, for some reason this one's getting to me more. I recognize her a lot. Oh my god, it's Harrison's, she was Irish, wasn't she? Irish babysitter? Harrison's Irish babysitter? I feel like she was Irish, wasn't she? Yeah, okay. Either way, she was cool. I liked her. You know what? Surprise, motherfucker. I liked her more. You know what? Likeability over La Cuerta. Yeah, she can go there. I liked her. I fucked with her. I thought she was good for Harrison. She was nice. I liked her. Next up, we got... Oh, fuck. I don't recognize... I'm not gonna lie, though. He looks like a Lumen guy. I could be wrong. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna put him with the Lumen gang. I'm gonna put him with Lumen gang. But if he's not, you can correct me. Depending on the situation, he either goes into can't remember or maybe just moves up one. I don't know. Clearly not memorable. Again, oh, I have no idea who this is. I don't remember this face at all. Not even close. Oh, God. I don't want to do this next one. No, my chair! The blood spatter! No! They're gonna catch me! I I don't want to do this next one, dude. This is top 3 death. This is top 3 sad deaths. Like, this might be top 2. Like, Deb's was really sad. Rita's broke my heart, and I didn't want to continue the show. This one might be just after Rita. I'm putting this guy up in goats. I don't care how long he was in the show. I don't give a fuck. Brother Sam? He's going above Miguel. Fuck it! No, you know what? Fuck that! Fuck that shit! Brother Sam is going up with Dexter and Masuka. I don't care. I don't give a shit. The way that I was on my hands and knees that he would recover from that fucking gunshot wound. That was genuinely like a really good friend for Dexter, bro. Like I was so pissed when he died, and then to find out who shot him as well, and then Dexter drowned him. Is he on here? Is he on here? I don't know if he's on here, but if he's on here, that guy that killed Brother Sam, he's going straight to the fucking bottom. Brother Sam is staying up there. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. I don't care. That was heartbreaking. And, like, I just like the scenes where, like, Dexter and him were, like, at Dexter's apartment, and he's just talking to him, and, like, he would always try and convince Dexter of, like, the Bible and stuff, and I always found it cool that it started out being Dexter, like, curious of him. Do you know what I mean? Of him. He was, like, Dexter was, like, he was going to be on the table, and then it turns out to be, like, a cool friendship. Yeah. No, I really wish Brother Sam lived on, like, till the end of the show. Rest in peace, my guy. Next up, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, God. Who is that? Who the fuck is that? Again, I recognize the face, but I also recognize the face as someone that kind of pissed me off. No, I can't remember. She's going in, can't remember. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we got so many characters, I've had to zoom out and refix up this shit so you can also see what characters are coming next. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we have... Now, this... I don't know how I still, to this day, don't know how I feel about the Travis season. I believe this was season 6. I like the ending where Deb finds out. Like, the whole religious thing, like, it was quite a roller coaster. A lot happened in this season, and it was confusing. This twist, though, Dr. something, I can't remember his name, was one of the, like, I was not expecting this twist. Like, the whole season, like, this guy's the most evil piece of shit and all that sort of stuff. And then his corpse is in the thing. And then it's like Travis is, like, schizophrenic. And it's like he's talking to himself. And it's like, it's weird because then you start remembering all the previous scenes with this guy. And you're like, wow, yeah, no one else saw him. But it's like some Fight Club, Billy Butcher and Negan type shit. Wow, that was really good. But him as a character, he was interesting. He's not mid. He was interesting. No, he won't go in front of LaGuerta. You know what? We'll put him at the back of surprise, motherfucker, just because of how, like, interesting he was. But, like, it turned out he wasn't actually the bad guy that we thought he was. He actually was trying to convince Travis not to be like that. Do you know what I mean? So, next up we have, is that Jamie? Genuinely, I've zoomed out that much. The quality on what I'm seeing is not as good. I think that's Jamie. Hold on, let me scan the rest of them. Yeah, that's Jamie. Jamie's goated. Batista's little sister. Jamie is obviously goated. You know what? Is Jamie goated or is she a surprise motherfucker? You know what? No, I'll be rational here. We'll put Jamie after Harry because Harry played such a crucial. But you know what? I'm putting Harry above Lumen. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry. You know what? No, I gotta do this. Miguel, I love the character development. Harry, then Miguel, then Lumen. I'll say that. There we go. That's helped me a lot more. And then we'll go Jamie. Now, Jamie I like more than the 3 in front of her. But I feel the 3 in front of her play more of a detrimental part of the show. However, she had some good arcs. You know, her taking care of Harrison, I fuck with that heavy. Her other arc was, that I can remember, was her with some fucking piece of shit. He's on here. He's in the next 3. Fuck, his name, what was his name? I can't, you know, the game developer, the intern guy, who got butthurt that Dexter didn't like his video. He's not next, but I'm getting too much into it. I can't remember him, I'm sorry. He's gonna have to go and can't remember. This is Travis's sister. Just mid. I feel bad for her being sister to such a piece of shit. Put her just after the ice truck killer victim. No, I feel bad for more of the kids, to be honest. I actually feel worse for the kids over ice truck killer victim, because... Now, this is the piece of shit I was on about. What the fuck is his name? I'm gonna Google his name. It was fucking Lewis. It was fucking Lewis. This scumbag, I don't care. That is extreme. I know. Behind the Lumen people, I know. This... weasel fuck. This cry baby nerd weasel bitch would not give it a rest. Dexter tried to scare him away. He gave him multiple fucking chances. He was disloyal to Jamie. Just a genuine fucking nerd ass leech. Fucking pussy. That is the best way to describe this. sorry. I'm sorry. No, I'm not fucking sorry. Whenever that Russian guy popped him in the fucking head on his boat, I was grateful as shit. Kinda wish Dexter put him on the table just for being a cunt. But either way, I was grateful as fuck. Lewis, you are staying there, you weasel. The only good thing about Lewis was the amount of L's he was taking near the end. Who the fuck is that? Right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know who that is. Right, another guy that really upset me when he died. I believe he died, was this season 7? He died at the very start because he pulled over to help. So the main villain in season 7, I think it is. Where is he? Where is he? He's on here. I have seen him. This guy. So, let's get this straight. This guy had a lover. A guy. Okay? The lover, this guy's lover was broken down on the road with a body in his boot. This cop that they brought in from Chicago that Deb hired, goated guy, by the way. I fucked with him heavy. I just can't remember his name. Pulled over to help his lover, and then found the body and then got shot. I think he did not deserve that death. I fucked with him. I'm gonna put it. You know what? I'm putting him above Miguel. I liked him that much. I thought he was a good detective. I thought he was cool on screen. Never pissed me off. Sad death. This villain, now he kind of like, he was pissing me off throughout a lot of the season. And he was like a bit cringy at times, I thought. But also, like as the season went on, he kind of grew on me. And then by the end of it, the way like him and Dexter used each other to like help each other. And I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely, like this guy just grew on me the whole season. And just the way it finished off. And I don't know, I liked the chat they had in the bar. I liked the way he was like, oh, we probably would be great friends. And I thought he was pretty cold at times. Yeah, you know what, I really, the more I think about that season, the more I quite enjoyed it. This guy was a good villain. I think this is actually a very underrated season and villain, I think. I didn't like him more than Jamie. Oh, yo! Cody, you're one of the bros. What you doing down there, bro? What are you doing down there? I'm so sorry. I've been disrespecting Cody like that. Move his ass up. One of the bros, for real. Cody's up there. On God. Right, where is he? I just dropped him somewhere out of disbelief that where Cody was. Here. Not more than Jamie. I liked him more than Trinity's kid. Right. Yeah, that's a good spot for him. Next up, that is an awful picture. Who the fuck? Let's just get this out of the way. I'm just gonna get all the can't remembers out of the way. Can't remember him. Don't remember him. I don't remember him. Right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I have put a bunch more into can't remember. These are just the people I genuinely can't remember their face. This guy gives me a bit of a, like, hint, but I still don't know. Next up, we have that shoddy that Vince had as like an intern. But what did she do? Was she the one that sold the hand for money? And then it was like betrayal. Like she seemed like she was gonna be a nice character, like an actual good person at the job, like good intern. Obviously Vince was fucking perving on her. That's just standard Vince. But like, and then whenever she snaked him out, I was like, you know what? You're not actually a chill dude. You're not actually, I don't fuck with that. You know, like Vince was genuinely hurt. You know, fuck you. So, you know what? Just out of pure disrespecting Vince, Dexter, please. Next up, we got this like, yo, Travis. Yo, gang. I remember texting my homeboys about this shit. Travis is just like a weasel. Like, you're looking at him and you're like, how are you a villain? Like, you are such a fuck. Whenever he went for Harrison and he was like going through all this religious bullshit, but when you take it to the extent Travis took it, I'm sat there like, bro, you are making all this effort over some, watch, you're gonna complete all these rituals and ain't shit gonna happen. Sorry. That was sort of pissing me off. I say sorta. And it's just like, he was doing all this shit, and I'm like, you are not hard, you are not tough. The best way I can describe how Travis looks and is quite literally a loser little brother. Like, a disappointment of a little brother child. Also, though, I think that's Tom Hanks' son. That is Woody from Toy Story's son. On God, I'm pretty sure that is. Yeah, I didn't fuck with him. I didn't even like him as, like, don't get me wrong, villain, he's mid. Villain-wise, like, he pissed me off so much. I don't even want to put him mid. No matter how good you liked that season, no matter how good the twist was, no matter what you thought of Travis, how good he was in, like, success rates with killing people, that means he killed his own sister. Yeah, he's going bottom. I don't care. He can go after the Skinner. Fuck Travis. I know some villains go up and up, but I can't deal with talking about fuck Travis. This guy, was he the trucker guy that they framed to be somebody else? Do you remember that? They took evidence and put it in his truck stop. Did they frame him to be Trinity? I think they framed him to be Trinity. Yeah, they might have. Poor guy, but I don't care. He might have also been a scumbag, actually. Oh, I don't know. I don't think he was that good of a dude. We'll put him just in case we'll put him at the back of this. This is Hannah's dad. Bro was a scumbag. He deserved the table, in my opinion. He deserved the table. Not as much as all these, I don't think. I just remember him being a prick dad about money. He obviously isn't a monster like these, but he'll go in this pile of, you probably should have had the table. Hannah, I liked Hannah. I still think he belonged to Rita, and some points of the show, like early on in their relationship, I wished he just went through with it instead of like having Hannah on. But then as the show went on, and then she came back. I forgot. She left, and then she came back. And when she came back, I liked that part of Hannah more than I did when they first got together. Does that make sense? Because when they first got together, it was about her and this guy right here. Because then he killed himself on the truck. He was talking like to Dexter about like ice cream and stuff, about like the new like developments and stuff, because he was helping him find the bodies. And I don't think he actually wanted to help find the bodies. He wanted to get a message over to Hannah and then kill himself. Hannah ended up being quite like, in my opinion, a good character. Especially at the end. And then she ended up taking on Harrison, and then we find out in New Blood that she died of cancer when Harrison was like 15. I'll put Hannah. She's not goated. I mean, she's goated for taking on Harrison, but I'm not gonna put her above Cody. Cody is one of the bros, low key. But she is, out of the newer characters, she's up there. She's surprised, motherfucker. Next up, and then this is the guy that killed himself. I mean, he buried bodies and killed a bunch of people with Hannah. He deserved the table, so you know what? He killed. Yeah, he can go here. He's there. Next up, now this is that girl Quinn was so bothered about in the club to like save her. He saved her and then she ditched him, but I'll put her in mid because she had some arc. She had more arc than these two. Not putting her above these two because they get sympathy points. I was actually hoping that Dexter got with this person. This was the girl that moved in next door, and then Saxon wooed her over. She did go on a date with Dexter. It was Jamie's friend. Saxon wooed her over, and then I think Saxon killed her, didn't he? Yeah, she was actually quite a sad death. I thought, like, her and Dexter were gonna be together. I fucked with that more heavy. She didn't deserve that though. I liked her more than yeah, I liked her more than, I'll put her there. I'm gonna move the girl back a bit because these two had more. She had more storyline. She had more storyline than Sil. Fuck it, we'll do that. Here? No. Here. No. Sil. Where's Sil? Right. I have the idea. Sil goes in the middle. She had more storyline. What am I doing? Bang. Bang! That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Alright, just a lot of sympathy right here. This was, I can't remember his name. I think he ended up having a crush on Deb. But whenever Deb left the force after killing LaGuerta, he was like her new boss. I didn't really care for him, to be honest. So disrespectful, bottom of mid. I just didn't give a fuck about him. And then he caused a bunch of... No, you know what? Dexter, please. He caused a bunch of problems at the end, dude. He pissed me off quite a bit near the end. Because then he hired that shit and he was just so money hungry. Yeah, he can go there. Next up is the guy that he hired. He didn't do anything wrong. He was just really doing his job. But then he let Saxon go, which then got him shot, him killed, and then Deb shot. So for that fuck up, you cannot... You get here maximum. Just because you fucked up like that and you caused a chain reaction. Fuck yourself. Saxon, disgusting creep. Fuck him. And then the whole thing about him being her daughter, like the whole thing about him being her son that she sent away because he killed her first son. Yo, this whole thing with her was a bit messy. I can't lie. Like, I enjoyed it at times, but like I could have done without it. Yeah, he was a prick. He was just so annoying. We'll put him... I like Travis more, to be honest. I actually like Travis more, and that's fucking saying something. Yeah, he can go there. Like, he killed Deb. He killed that nice lady that lives next door to Dexter. Killed his mom. Slit her throat in front of... Yeah, fuck Saxon. And then this lady, she was up and down for me. She honestly can go mid. I would prefer to watch a season with Lila over her again. I think so. Actually, I like Sil more. I'll put her here. Yeah. She can go there. That might be crazy because she was such a big part of the last season, but I just didn't care for her. Final three, ladies and gentlemen. This is the kid who is the son of a guy they were investigating, and he ended up being like Dexter. Saxon also killed him. Yeah, that was fucked up. Him and Hannah, Dexter, him and Hannah had like this like nice like part in an episode together, and then a couple episodes later, Saxon cut off half his head. But I didn't mind this kid. I thought he was alright. I'll put mid. I liked him more than the old lady. Yeah. And then this girl, this was Vince's daughter that he flirted with initially. W Vince, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, because then he thought she was using her for money. And then she, like, worked at, like, a Hooters place. And they were just out. And he was like, oh, my fucking God. And it's like, yeah, it's different when it's your daughter, ain't it, Vince? But, yeah, no, we'll put her... Again, it was mid. She was more interesting than... No, she wasn't more interesting than the old lady. And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, we are on our final fucking character, and what a way to go. What a way to finish off the tier list with none other. I don't know if there's any other way. Hold on. I think there's this guy doesn't fit. I don't think we can fit this man into any of these tiers. I think he needs a tier of his own. Angel, or as LaGuerta said, Angel Batista. I couldn't really fit him in because in my mind there is only one place he deserves, and that's a tier of his own. And that tier, ladies and gentlemen, is Le Passion! Le Passion! Not communication, not trust. La Passion! What a way to end off this fucking tier list. I don't need to go through anything. I don't need to check through this. I'm very confident I've gotten this right first time. Everyone at the bottom, disgusted. Get on the table. Everyone above, you piss me off. Dexter, please think about it. Mid people, there's some sympathy, some don't cares, some importance, but I just didn't like you. We got surprise, motherfucker, the people that I liked or had more importance to the show. And then we had the goats, obviously the main motherfuckers. And then we had the three brothers up there. We got Brother Sam, who again got my love just from being such a sad death. Masuka, because where do you put such a goat himself? And then, I mean, that tier was made just for Dexter, but he's got some tag-alongs, you know, one of the greatest main characters in TV history. And then we got Angel just above in his La Passion tier of his own, because that's where blood deserves to be. By the way, before comments start going crazy, I don't actually think Angel is better than Dexter. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I do not need to go through and check this shit again. I am very happy. I'm very confident with the way this tier list has panned out. Hold on. Let me get it in a better view for you. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. I have made it slightly bigger on the screen for you now. That is my tier list. Again, I apologize if I can't remember a lot of those people. It is just because I've only seen the show once through, and I think this tier list had 95 images. We just ranked 95 fucking people. So my brain is fried. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is not important. What is important is that this video made you laugh. It made you smile. It distracted you from whatever you may be going through in your life. And I was so excited to do this tier list video. And I'm really glad that a lot of you like my character tier list videos, or just my tier list videos in general. And this was one that I've been so excited to do. So, if you enjoy the tier list videos and you have any ideas on them, if you want more Dexter ones, if you want more Walking Dead ones, or just something completely new, guys, not only drop the comment down below of your suggestion, but do me a favor. Smack the subscribe button on the face, turn on notification bell, leave a like, and drop a comment down below like I just said. And as it is a tier list video, I need those opinions. Do you think I did someone too good, too dirty? Do you agree? Is there people you disagree with? Is there people that I didn't remember that you did, and then you can tell me where you think they would have slotted in? I mean, if you guys remind me, I'd be able to remember and slot them in myself anyway, but like just stuff like that. So again, any comments helping your boy out, I would appreciate that a lot. I honestly think this video has been long enough. 2.5 hours of footage. Fuck me. Ladies and gentlemen, check out all the links in my description whilst you're subscribing. I don't want to waste your time. I hope you enjoyed this tier list. Let me know of any others you want to do. And yeah.
Tonight's the night.
Oh, peace. Steady as a surgeon.